toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Starkville, Mississippi, home of the Mississippi State Bulldogs. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Alabama Crimson Tide, taking on a fellow SEC opponent, the Mississippi State Bulldogs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Mississippi State about to boot it away as we start the festivities. Fielded in the end zone. It's Adams. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. So Alabama's offense will get the first possession of the game. Last time these two rivals got together, guys, there were hurt feelings and some dead fish handshakes in the aftermath, and this might be just the recipe to cook up some revenge, Jesse.
Well, they're going to be motivated, that's for sure. The losing team, they have been hearing about that blowout loss now for a very long time. They had this game circled, David, all offseason, hoping to get that payback.
Oh, man, you get all the quotes, all the people talking about, all those blowhards on all the different networks, i.e. us, talking about how bad it was and how embarrassing it was, and now you get a chance to get some payback. They're excited.
Back to pass, it's Simpson. Right down the middle. He's got it. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. They'll decline the penalty here, and the result of the play stands. A costly penalty for this defense gives them a 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Finds his man. It's Williams. There he goes. We've seen this from this sophomore. So dangerous after he makes the grab.
Get the big-time receiver involved early in the game. That's a huge key for this offense, no matter who they're playing against. But you can see, with his size, with his ability after the catch, this guy is a weapon, and he's putting this defense on alert early.
Plows through the defense. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Kept it on the ground on 1st down, now back to the line. To the air on 2nd down. And the quarterback will be slugged down back at the 43.
And that is what every single defense wants, man. They got to get those negative plays so you can put them in predictable situations. They gave up some yardage, but that's okay. Getting the sack, now forcing the 3rd ball, gear up the pass rushers, bring in some extra DBs, and try to go get them again.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Oh, they're after him! And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
And I'd be worried right now if I were this head coach. I've already had my starting quarterback knocked out of the game. I'm watching my backup quarterback now get ragdolled around as well. What can we do to protect him and give ourselves a chance to win this game?
And no chance for the return man to get his hands on that one as it hops out of bounds. The Bulldogs offense will take the field for the first time. Last week was a tape they'd rather just put right in the dumpster and forget about it. David, how does a guy bounce back from a game like the one he had last week?
Well, hopefully he burned that tape because that was not pretty. That was not what they're wanting to do, man. Just turning the football over, not enough productive plays. And so how do you bounce back? How do you get started in this football game? Jesse, make it easy. Get them in a rhythm. Don't make it very complicated. Don't give them a chance to turn it over again. You don't need to put this losing streak to another digit in the column.
Yeah, I agree. I think there was two big things. I think, one, he was just pressing. He was trying to force the big play to happen when there were other completions to be had. So he's just got to do a better job being patient. And I think the guys around him also have to step up as well. They need to run the football. They need to get that control pass.
Oh, he's got some space. They make the tackle at the 33, but he's ripped off 15 yards and picked up a first down.
And how about that? Right after they get the explosive play running the ball, they're going right back to the line of scrimmage for some tempo.
They get him stopped at the 26, but boy, that was an attitude run. A pickup of 6. Mississippi State right back to the line. Their performance in SEC play last year was forgettable. They'd love to make it memorable this time around.
I love when Reese uses that phrases like forgettable, which means it was awful, not very good, okay? So they are looking for a bounce back. They've been selling this program all offseason. They've been trying to bring in new additions. They've been trying to create some juice, Palmer. Now they got to go out and do it.
I think they realized, too, a year ago, they weren't as talented as some of their opponents, but they also gave some games away. And they've got to be better in critical down and distances in big moments when they get into these SEC conference games this season.
And the Bulldogs will line it up on 1st and 10. Motion from the wide receiver. They'll try the right side. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Looking downfield, it's Shapen. He caught it, and he'll step out of bounds just short of the goal line. Almost a touchdown, but not in there yet.
Well, that's one the DB, I think, would like to have back. Out route, he was in man coverage. If he could have just got out of his break a little bit sooner, he might have had a chance to intercept that one and take it to the house.
He just needed a yard on 3rd down, and there just wasn't any room to pick it up.
That's such a great physical play by the defense because this is one of the bigger, more physical running backs you'll see in the country, and we're used to seeing him push the pile the other direction, not that time. It's the big guys up front on defense getting penetration, and they're sending him back for a tackle for loss.
The incomplete pass makes this series end in frustration as they turn it over on downs. The Tide offense rolls onto the field.
Man, aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
The give is to Miller. Didn't find much room. He'll pick up a couple out to the 5.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
How frustrating is that? You're that running back. Where were you supposed to go? There was absolutely no lane for him on that play.
You know what they need. You know what they want. And you know what they deliver on 3rd down. More cowbell. They stop him short of the sticks, and it'll be 4th down. Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Not a very good punt under the pressure. They make the stop, but there is a penalty marker down. Let's see what the call is.
Personal foul. Looking to kick. Defense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take... So it's 1st and 10 after that costly defensive penalty on 4th down. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Good, solid, determined run there. They'll mark him down at the 27. Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. He'll try the toss to the left. Runs through the tackle. And there was nowhere to go. Just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
You just need more from your offensive line. 2nd and short like that, you'd love to be able to fire off the ball and pick that up running it, but the defense was able to get penetration. They were able to get a stop, and now you set up 3rd down. And this offensive...
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys into coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. These last couple of drives, Jesse, have been about the defense making clutch stands.
I think for this offense, they can stay aggressive knowing that their defense is going to bail them out time and time again here.
Yeah, and especially when you go for those 4th down situations, you do that a lot of times because you know your defense can make stands, make stops. They did on that last possession for you.
Grabbed in the middle, it's Mosley. And it's a catch, but he's got enough for the 1st down. It has been all defense all the time in the early going as we wrap up the 1st quarter, and the stats certainly reflect that. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the 2nd. First play of the period, 1st down here. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the missed timing.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
The Bulldogs come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Brings it to the open. Got enough to move the sticks. 1st down from the 17. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Looking for a man. It's Shapen. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
Yeah, and you don't see very many quarterback hits on screens. You know, the offense wants to bluff real quick and make it look like pass, and then the quarterback's supposed to pop up, look like pass, and quickly get rid of it. You could tell timing all wrong. It was all jacked up, and that play went absolutely nowhere.
Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
And there's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit, and I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. Just drives it between the uprights. And the first points of the day come on that field goal.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
He'll bring it out. It's Adams. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. They're looking for any type of offense to try to get this thing going, down 3-0. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Trying to seal the edge on the right. Runs through a tackle. Now they've got breathing room. Got 6 all the way out to the 20.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
Looking to pass. It's Simpson. Quick completion on the out. And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the first down.
And it's tough on the defense there. Third down, you're in zone coverage. Everybody's watching the quarterback, and you're trying to make a break on the ball, but he just got it out of his hands too quickly, and the throw was too accurate. Really nothing you can do there, and it's now a fresh set of downs.
Time to take a shot. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
And the offense clearly saying, we want to take those deep shots. We want to be aggressive. And I think that's a good strategy because it makes the defense really honor what you're going to do. And just missed a little bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if this offense finds a way to come back to some of those deep throws.
On the option. And the ball is free on the pitch. Well, the offense looks as if they fell on the fumble, and they'll keep the ball.
It's so hard to force fumbles, and when you do, you so badly want to get them. You're crawling, you're doing whatever you can to get there as a defender, but the offense fortunate enough to cover it back up.
Looking deep down the right side. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. He'll try to really get into this one. He'll try to field the punt and bring it back. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stops. They'll start this drive from their own 35-yard line. Snags it quickly on the left. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there. Still a little ground covered. Pick up the first. In a competitive conference like the SEC, you just can't afford to start 0-1 if you want to chase a championship. Really important to get off to a good start.
No doubt, in the SEC, you've got to set the tone early. It's all about creating momentum out of the gate. Both of these teams had this game circled all offseason, David. They know what's riding on the line.
There's so much riding on the line. Who gets to Atlanta down the road? Bragging rights, recruiting rights, all this stuff. Once you get in conference play, it means a lot every single week.
And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
He can't haul it in incomplete. He had him on the crossing route, and he dropped it.
Well, the quarterback and his intended target just simply didn't have the timing there. The ball falls incomplete on 3rd, now setting up 4th down.
So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. First punt of the day, and he'd love to lock them up close to their goal line. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes that Alabama offense. Nothing but punts as a result of the first 3 offensive drives, hoping this one gets a little more done. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. The give to the back. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
This offense has really struggled, and I think you're just waiting for one play, one explosive play to happen to hopefully galvanize you a bit offensively. That's not the case, and there, they try to run the football in the first play of the drive, and it gets absolutely blown up for a loss.
Pulls it in. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35. Big-time playmakers on the outside. Now, look, Alabama's had great receivers. Ozzie Newsome, David Palmer way back in the day. But nowadays, it's sort of part of the DNA for the Crimson Tide.
Man, the run they had for several years was unbelievable with Judy and Ruggs and Cooper and Devontae Smith. Like, we can just keep going on guy after guy after guy that they had that wore that uniform that was a big-time elite playmaker on the outside.
They'll give it to him again. Shakes off the defender. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him. Alabama with a multitude of options on second and short. They'll give it to the back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
They were all over him. Nowhere to go as that third down play turned into a disaster. And they'll send out the field goal unit. Everything will have to be clean from 55 yards away. No good. So the score remains 3-0.
Oh, man, the dreaded doink. When you knock it off the crossbar. Those are ones where, man, just a couple inches to the other side, towards the middle, and that thing's in, but it still counts as a missed opportunity.
Oh, he wants it all. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
And that's one the offense just needs to be able to hit, right? That's a completion they should be able to hit in their sleep. Receivers got to do a better job.
So now it's second and long. Looking to throw, it's Shapen. And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit.
Love the physicality of the secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
It'll be third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's Reese. They get him on the ground late in the half. They have the first down at the 41. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Mississippi State comes out after picking up the first down. Looking downfield on first down. That's reeled in. It's Williams. He snagged him, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Down to the 26-yard line where the tackle is made. Pick up a 5 and a first down. Wants to throw on first down. Got a man. It's Williams. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. And, Jesse, you have a slot receiver like this. He can create matchup nightmares for a defense.
No doubt about it, Reese. And him and this quarterback, they really are on the same page. He's so deliberate with his route running. The quarterback knows exactly where he's going to be and when he's going to be there. And that's why they're so tough to stop.
And that's where quarterbacks, they got to be very assertive. They got to believe what they see and really pull the trigger. But the longer they wait and they get off rhythm or off timing, a lot of times it ends up in incomplete passes.
He gives them a fresh set of downs, and this one will be first and goal from the 6. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Wants to throw. It's Shapen. Here's a heat. And he's knocked down, but there's also laundry on the field. We'll see what the officials have called.
Hold offense.
We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Waning seconds of the first half, and they'll try to tack on a 3 before they head to the locker room. Absolutely center cut. They double their lead up to 6 here in the third quarter. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together. And a fun first half between these rivals. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. With that, let's throw it back to the guys to see how this rivalry matchup plays out.
Alabama ready to put a boot to it to start the second half. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. And when your defense is performing like this, pitching a shutout, you want to find a way to reward them and help them out a little bit, David.
And I guess that's the upside for this offense. Their defense has been so good, but man, oh man, they've got to find something, Jesse, that they can hang their hat on, something they can do to move the football.
It just feels like at this point, they kick one more field goal and miss this ball game because of how well their defense is playing. So I think offensively, just don't do anything stupid and give the game away.
Yeah, it's a bit of a surge, and he's knocked down after picking up 3 to the 26. And the Bulldogs are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. They'll move the tight end. Dropping back, it's Shapen. Under fire! They recover their own fumble. Somehow, who knows how they got that thing back.
Doesn't it always seem like that ball is on the ground for like 30 seconds? You got 17 guys running at it, slow motion, like, I got to get the football. Offense, very lucky to get that football back.
Punt is on its way. Makes a move. And the punt team able to swing him to the ground. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Caller, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to have the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle. Maybe that generates an explosive play, and it breaks this trend.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on 2nd and short. Looking to fire. Caught near the sticks. It's Bernard. Smashes ahead. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down. Pass completion, move the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Pressure coming. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action attempt.
Back to throw, it's Simpson. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Miller. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
This defense makes a play, stopping him well short, and it'll be 4th down from the 24. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. Dead center perfect. The lead is down to a field goal. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, back to your game in a moment, but first we have to show you how the script is being written here. Baylor is having its way offensively, just marching up and down the field at a breathtaking pace. They're up by 21 over Rice. We will be multitasking asking today, boys. One eye on that game, one eye on your game. Really the only way to do it.
And how about that one? Devin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Running back searching for a hole. And he is stopped immediately by the big defensive lineman.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Get it out on the screen. Fights off a defender. They drag him down, but not before he's moved the chains, and the screen pass is effective.
And they executed that running back screen to perfection. Quarterback held on to it. He let the rush get to him. Offensive lineman got out in position, and the running back sold it too. Once he had the ball in his hands, he just had blockers and green field out in front of him. They pick up an explosive play on a running back screen.
They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
To run the football, and you can tell maybe the quarterback wishes he pulled this. Small gain, but some information you gathered maybe for the next time you get to run an RPO.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
They couldn't make the connection on 2nd down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
Another incompletion, and I've said that a lot, and these teams are just struggling. I mean, the offense just doesn't know what to do. Nothing's working. Ground game, throw game. It's kind of been a rock fight on both sides.
Mississippi State will roll out the punt unit. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. He'll try to field the punt and see if he can give his offense better field position. They'll get him corralled and down at about the 19-yard line. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. And points have been hard to come by in this one. They'll try to put together a drive. Scanning the field, it's Simpson. Finds his tight end. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
So surprised we have not been calling this guy's name more. He's one of the best tight ends in the country, but give the defense credit. They have had an outstanding game plan limiting him so far. That's only his 2nd catch of the game.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Bernard. And just a short and safe pass play. They pick up a few.
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick them up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches the pass. You saw it on that last play.
Caught close to the marker. It's Bernard. Across the 40, out of bounds at the 41, and a big pickup has this offense on the move. These guys have staggered around a little bit in this one. It would be a really good time to get things going if they want to hold off the upset bid.
But they're the favorite for a reason, Reese, and they've got the playmakers on the field. They're only one play away from completely changing the momentum in this game. So the underdog, David, they've got to keep playing at a high level.
And they're the underdogs for a reason. So that they've got to have some things go their way. They got to catch some breaks. And all they want to do, continue to fight, continue to hang around as long as possible and stay within a play or stay within some kind of big game-changing momentum play.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Wants to go up top. Flips it out on the screen. Nice pickup there. Gets him the 1st down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. New set of downs after the completion. Gives it on the option. You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6.
And sticking to the run. I'll tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on running the football, you can tell.
And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
Great play by the cornerback. He was just way too physical at the point of attack. He beat his man trying to block him, and he tackled that receiver on the screen.
They'll try the run. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interested to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
First play of the drive will come from the 9-yard line. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And brought down, looks as if that's how we'll end the third. We've come to the end of the period, and Mississippi State is on top and sitting in a good spot as we wrap up the third. Let's take a look at our game stats while we have a break in the action. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. Things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. To the air, it's Shapen. Hit as he throws. And it's intercepted. A huge fourth quarter play for this defense. Touchdown, Crimson Tide. And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick six.
How about that play by this defense? The offense trying to salt the game away with the lead. Defense makes the biggest play of the ball game, getting the pick, finding the end zone, and taking the lead late in this ball game.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point is good, and every point counts. It's now a 4-point lead in the fourth. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he takes this from inside the 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. The sledding has been tough. Scores have been at a premium, Jesse, and every possession seems like it could switch the momentum of the game.
Yeah, Reese, for this offense, just feels like they just haven't been as physical. And for this offensive coordinator, David, he's having to go deep into the playbook just to try to generate a first down.
Well, and the good thing is there's not a ton of game pressure because the other side's not scoring either. But if you can find that one thing that get that one positive play, and then maybe you get those juices going and something can start to build.
This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde story for this quarterback. His last game out, he completed over 80% of his throws, but things just not going his way in this one. You've got to give the defense a ton of credit.
Third and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up. Oh, he would have loved to pick up a few more yards on that return, but they've still got it at the 31.
And that just kind of caps off this day. It's been a day with not a lot of rhythm, not a lot of timing, not a lot of guys on the same page, and they weren't right there, and the quarterback throws an INT, and this one is not looking good.
They'll go to the ground. Makes one man miss. That's why a good running game is a coach's and quarterback's best friend when you're trying to put the lid on the game. They'll go with a direct snap. Drives into the defense, and they get him down after a pickup of 3 to the 16. Solid pickup of 4 on first down at 2nd and 6. The play action fake. A strike downfield. Touchdown Tide. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board. They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start. The offense flexes its muscle a bit and widens the gap.
Take a little exhale. You know, you did your job. You got points. Now you put your defense in a position where, hey, go out and get another stop. We're in great shape, so the offense definitely taking care of their business.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. Back to throw, it's Shapen. Gonna take a shot at this DB. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, we've got a close game here at the start of the fourth quarter, right? This team obviously is down, but they're not playing it close to the vest. Being aggressive, first play of the drive, trying to throw it down the field. They're going to have to complete some of these if they're going to get this comeback win in this game.
And I'm kind of surprised by this performance, man. The QB last week, you could tell that he was in rhythm. He was good timing. You could tell the chemistry with receivers were good. And today, everything just looks off. And it looks hard. It looks difficult. They got to find a way to get back in the rhythm they were in last week.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. They spun that wheel of fortune on fourth down and come up bankrupt. Miller with the ball. Turning it up. Headed to the end zone. And you'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Bama! That lead's a little more comfortable now as they close in on a victory here in week 3.
And a lot of times late in football games, you'll see offenses getting really, really conservative with the lead. I like how this offense didn't go against the clock. They stayed within themselves. They stayed true to who they were. And now, big-time advantage, big-time lead, up by 17 in the fourth quarter.
On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Here comes the Mississippi State offense, ready to attack. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the fourth down, and it led to the scoring drive, David.
And those are frustrating because you think you might get points, and then your defense gives up points. This has got to be a complementary football-type deal. The offense now needs to provide a little spark and give this defense some hope.
No doubt, David. They got to turn the page, and they've got to play with a little bit more urgency here, knowing they've got to get that one back and put a good drive together.
To the air, it's Shapen. Sends it downfield. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
Well, talking to the coaching staff coming into tonight, they thought they had to have success throwing the football if they were going to win this game. And one of the biggest reasons why I'd say they're losing right now is because this guy still hasn't thrown a touchdown pass. The defense has been ready for the deep shots. They're ready yet again here late in the game. Nice job forcing that incompletion.
He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. Quickly to the flat, the wide receiver screen. Will not get there. A fourth down stop. Great place to start for this offense. Motion from the wideout. Quick pass on the jet motion. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver in different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense.
There he goes. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. Alabama trying to cash in on this red zone trip. They'll try to keep this clock moving on the ground. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the
got some room headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Alabama! And the punishment has been extended. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
Here comes the Bulldog offense back onto the field. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Try to get it to the edge. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. It's Shapen. Fires to the tight end. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
No harder position to play in a ball game than the offensive line. You know, tonight in this game, you're down by a lot. You know you have to pass the football. Man, it's a tough job to protect up front, and they definitely struggled on that play.
Here comes that Alabama offense. First play of the drive comes from the 41. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Grabbed over the middle. It's Miller. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and the clock is definitely on their side. They'll just try to run it out here. The Crimson Tide needs to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to run for it. They thought they could just run it on 3rd and short, but this defense was there to make the stop. The punt team makes its way onto the field. And the return man couldn't get to it to make the catch, and the ball will bounce out of bounds. The Mississippi State offense headed back to the field to go to work. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route and hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
The Bulldogs with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. Still on his feet. And after the pick, everybody going the other way, and he crossed midfield and got it to the 47. Offense working from the pistol. Caught over the middle. It's Lewis. And gang tackling on this dude is a good idea. They needed it, but he still got the 1st down. They'll snap it from the 34 on 1st and 10. The give to the lone running back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. When you deal with a rivalry game, you have to live with the outcome for a full year. And this one is going to rest in their minds for the entire season going into next year.
And it's not going to sit well with the losing team. When you lose these, you're going to get hounded and you're going to get hate. You're going to get social media is going to destroy you about losing to your rival. But you got to put it past you. It is just one game. It's not that big of a deal. Well,